All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin. I'm your host, Vays. Let's see if everything is doing fine. Zoom is acting a little slow, but we are streaming well. Let's go to the charts. Jumped into Cafe Bitcoin Spaces this morning. That was fun. Check out Bitcoin Day in Denver on the 25th of this month. If you are in Denver, they were the special guests there today. Really wanted to make it out there, but too busy with the financial summit. All right, live chat. Okay, we're good to go. Weekly chart. I can't believe this month is halfway done. Talked about the oscillators the other day. Not a good looking weekly candle. Today is already Wednesday. We're almost halfway through the week. We got an area of support coming up at the MRI support line, sitting at just under $18,000. And it's not looking very hot right now. This is a consolidation near the bottom of a trend, and consolidations at the bottom of a trend tend to lead to more downside. Not good. Allocation chart, I can now lower my potential entry. Not on this candle, of course, but if next candle goes up and starts trading, once the moving averages cross over and we start trading above both moving averages with the moving average crossover, that's when I would be interested in taking on a little bit of a bullish trade. For now, we sit and wait for a potential catastrophic buy the dip situation because all TA signs are pointing to that. Daily chart, we touched the bottom of the range perfectly. I did not move this line. This is exactly where the line was. I really should have had an arrow from up here to there because that's all I kept talking about. I just never drew the arrow. Kind of unfair to draw that arrow now. But that's basically what I've been saying. If you go back and watch my videos from 3 or 4 days ago, this channel has not changed. This channel has been there. And we're now back at this low for the third time. And the only thing that's preventing me from saying this is going to be a complete and utter disaster is the fact that it's Bitcoin and I have a bullish bias. And maybe I shouldn't have a bullish bias. Maybe I should be a little more neutral. I think that this is a really challenging bear market in Bitcoin. Like I've said many times, this is the most challenging bear market that I've had to deal with. And this is my third. And the others I just was able to just brush off and not have to worry about anything. This one is very, very different. I think this is a much more dangerous bear market. I've already explained the reasons for that. And I may not be over. This may be a catastrophic fall. I don't see how the current situation is any different than the situation in May. I see absolutely no difference between the two. This one is even cleaner to demonstrate the move to the downside. Now we are sitting lower. There's only so low the Bitcoin price is going to go. Anyone who currently is holding between half a Bitcoin and probably 5 Bitcoin, those people are very motivated to double their Bitcoin stack. Anyone that is currently sitting on let's say between say 100 Bitcoin and 1,000 Bitcoin, those people are probably getting very, very nervous about the situation. And they're not sure if they should be buying more or selling what they have in order not to be broke. Now above 1,000 Bitcoin, those people are probably, they're not concerned. If you have over 1,000 Bitcoin, you are pretty wealthy. The chances of Bitcoin going down to even 5,000 is low. And if you have 1,000 Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes down to 5,000, you still have about $5 million. It depends on your lifestyle. You may not be able to fly those private jets no more for a year or two, but you are still okay. And you are not in a desperate need to sell that Bitcoin unless it's part of your business. Well, if you have between half a Bitcoin and 5 Bitcoin, you probably have enough dry powder to buy more. And here's my reasoning for that. If you have between half a Bitcoin and even 10 Bitcoin, you probably have a day job that pays you in fiat. The majority of the people. Or you have a job that pays you in Bitcoin, which is even better, right? Because then you're just getting more Bitcoin for the same salary. But people that have more Bitcoin, they may or may not have a fiat job. I also need to talk about that other range between 10 Bitcoin and 100 Bitcoin. Those people are probably also getting very concerned, okay? Tone Vays could have 1 Bitcoin. Tone Vays can have 10,000 Bitcoin. You choose. So at say 50 Bitcoin, right? At 50 Bitcoin, if the price of Bitcoin goes down to 10,000, you have $500,000. Is that enough to actually be retired? For some people it is, right? For some people it's not. Looking at your live chat. People have been guessing how much I have for the last 8 years. And they've all been completely wrong. I've been unemployed for quite a while. So that's why it's impossible to guess, because I was unemployed when I started. Actually, no, I wasn't unemployed when I started YouTube. Or was I? I was already unemployed when I started the channel. So I was already unemployed, but I also kind of live in a cardboard box. No one has ever seen me drive a nice car. I usually fly economy. Right. My favorite countries to spend time in, ironically, was Ukraine. Ukraine, Thailand. So life was cheap. Life was cheap. Total Satoshi has 1 million Bitcoin. Best answer. If you're in a 10 to 100 Bitcoin range, you're probably not too concerned because you probably also still have a day job. For the average person, Tone doesn't do anything normal. No, you saw me getting into a Tesla for someone to give me a ride home. I've actually only driven a Tesla once. That was in Miami. Yeah, Kiev was a city I used to really like. Kiev, Thailand, Republic of Georgia. Used to really like Istanbul, but after my last trip to Istanbul, I don't like it anymore. Not as much. All right, let's talk about the CPI numbers. See, that's the other problem with a lot of Bitcoin OGs. They kind of quit their job really early for a passion, and they never had any fiat to really buy a substantial amount of Bitcoin. That was actually my mistake. I quit my $100,000 job so freaking early because I really didn't like it, that I never actually had the chance to buy cheap Bitcoin, which sucks. So let's take a look at what happened when the CPI numbers came out. This is a 1 hour chart. The moment the CPI number dropped, markets crashed. I need to go to a 30-minute time frame. But why did they crash? Isn't inflation good for the price of Bitcoin? Well, they crashed because the stock market crashed. Here it is. There's an uncanny correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500. The S&P 500 on a 10-minute closing candle is down 2.5%. Bitcoin fell over 5% on the same news. Bitcoin has a much higher beta than other correlations. This is a high beta correlated stock. High beta correlated stock. So, oh, look at this trend line. We're right on this trend line. Honestly, it's not looking great. Just like in Bitcoin, inflation for the stock market should be kind of good. Stock market should do fairly okay in an inflationary environment. But we are going into a recession, so that could cause havoc for the stock market. Sell your house and buy 65 Bitcoin. Will my house fetch 65 Bitcoin? Let me think. At a current price of $20,000 of Bitcoin, oh, hell no, I wouldn't even come close. No, Bitcoin would have to drop to like under 5K. That'd be nice. That'd be super nice to somehow get 65 Bitcoin. Man, imagine. It's a good sum. Oh man, now you got me thinking. Maybe it's a good thing I missed that sale of my apartment. Like the sale didn't fell through. I was selling it. Oh man, selling it, if Bitcoin falls to under 10K to sell the apartment, then I'm still not going to get 65 Bitcoin, but it'll be close. Man, that'd be nice. But then I'm actually going to live in a cardboard box, though I do have my cabin. And it's not like I'm ever in the apartment. You know, I'm one of the few people that I don't think interest rate matters to the stock market at all. I don't think it matters. So if inflation goes up and they raise interest rates, I don't think the stock market, it matters. What matters is how the companies are doing and how the companies are projected to do. All right, so let's see if we can rebound here. Overall picture on the daily and the weekly looks super bad. Hey guys, join us in the Dominican Republic. We are rented out this whole castle. It is almost 2 weeks away. Tickets, flights to the Dominican Republic have gotten a little more expensive. I probably need to buy mine before Bitcoin drops all the way to a lower price and the flights go up even more. But come join us there. Still room to sign up. We still have a few rooms. The castle has about 60 rooms. These are our past and common attendees. I'm still chatting with many of them. Joe Saz says he is very likely to make it. He might come on my channel soon. Da Vinci had a little issue, so he'll probably not make it. Willy Woo also had some travel issues, but we will have Willy Woo for 2 to 3 hours over satellite, over Zoom. But unfortunately, Willie will not make this one in person. He loves the event. He's been there before. He'll be back again. And we always get him via Zoom for a private conversation. Why not take credit if you have 0 debts? I don't like having debts. I have enough debts. I have enough debts and I have enough monthly expenses that are absolutely killing me. And I don't like being in debt. I really don't. Which is why I'll never run a Ponzi scheme, because that's just debt that you can't pay. I think the target is somewhere between 14,000 and 17,000 if we drop. I don't really see us going below 14,000, but you never know. You never know. Hey guys, please follow us on Instagram. Really want to get to 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I would love to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, but we are really far away from that. I'll look at your live chat while I keep the Instagram page up. Bali is on sale. Bali seems to be in more demand than DR for some reason. There's already people signing up for Bali. Either way, I'm going to keep doing these things until they either succeed or I have 0 money left. This is my mission. My mission is the financial summit. I think it's an amazing event. I just got to get, people to experience it once. This is going to be the attempt for a future Tone Vays business. It's either this or politics. There's really not going to be much in between. This is the only way I stay in the financial public is with this event, because I really like it. I'm doing what I love, right? Like I quit my job to do what I love. And I've tried many things. I've tried consulting. I've tried teaching workshops. I've tried teaching webinars. I have this YouTube channel. But these events, this event in particular, is my absolute passion. So it has to succeed. Otherwise, I'm just going to go back to trading. So I'm on a mission to make it succeed. Do you consider a 60,000 USD capital to trade enough? That's a great question. The answer is yes, but, and this is a big but, that 60,000 capital needs to be disposable capital that you can afford to lose. If that $60,000 capital is like all of your disposable net worth, is like all the money you have to your name, whether you have a job or not, let's say you don't have a home and you're still living in your mom's basement and all you have is $60,000 and you've saved it for the last 5 years, and now you're going to use it as capital to trade, my answer is no, absolutely not. But if 60,000 is what you have as, let's say you've been a doctor, right? Or like, let's say a firefighter. Firefighter makes pretty good money. A firefighter usually works 3 days a week, but they're 24-hour shifts. So a firefighter usually has like 4 days off in a row. And you have a good salary. You've been doing that for a while. You've been saving. You've been living frugally. You're in a perfect position to take that $40,000, $50,000 and start trading, because you have multiple days in a row where you can just focus on trading. Also, if you're, ironically, that's the firehouse, right? The job with the bell. So you don't want to be trading while at the firehouse, but that's when you can be doing your research. And then if, fire alarm goes off, then you jump in the truck. You don't want to be in the middle of a trade. But you got those 3-4 days in a row when you're off. That's when you can do some trading. That's when you can calmly enter your trades, set your stop losses, and then you're good to go. So something like that. It's enough money if it's not scared money. If it's scared money, then it's not enough. So the first time I started trading, I started with like 25,000, lost it all. Second time I started trading, I saved more money. But remember, I was working a Wall Street job. Saved more money. That first 25,000, I lost it all because I was shorting the real estate market too soon into the real estate crash, but I already ran out of money. Then the second time, I started with 50,000, and after saving it for several years, and I did much better. And it also wasn't scared money at that point because I've saved enough. But the first time I was trading with 25,000, and that's all I had. And it could have been enough if I, knew what I was doing better. But this is Bali. This is actually the resort. This is the resort we'll be at. I rented more than half the resort. Again, not the best time to be going into these contracts, but we'll see. You'll know sometime next year whether Tone's completely broke or he succeeded in another business. Homeless Tone, yeah. No, I'll go live in Latin America. It's a lot cheaper there. It's great. Man, love Brazil. Panama's great. Mexico's great. Can't wait to check out Paraguay, Uruguay. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That 11 Bitcoin range. If you have 11 Bitcoin right now, are you feeling rich or are you feeling poor? That's a good question, right? 11 Bitcoin, $20,000 in Bitcoin, about 220,000. Is that enough to retire? If you're in Thailand. Well, I do more Twitter spaces. I'm in Twitter spaces all the time. I just haven't hosted my own. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll sit by the fire over in at the cabin where I usually am. Maybe I'll do a spaces. See, if you have 11 Bitcoin and you don't have a job and you have no income coming in, you're a little concerned right now, aren't you? Like, what are you going to do? You got to pay rent. You got to pay bills. It's a very tricky situation. And if you're sitting at 11 Bitcoin, because I'm looking at the live chat, they're about 11 Bitcoin. If you're sitting at 11 Bitcoin and you don't have a job, a high paying job, you can't add more Bitcoin. How can you? How can you increase your Bitcoin stash? It's impossible. So this is why I didn't really cover that 10 Bitcoin to 100 Bitcoin range, because in that 10 Bitcoin to 100 Bitcoin range, there's so much diversity there. I think at the bottom end of that range, people have jobs, but potentially not. If you live a cheap life, you might have quit like a year or two ago with your 11 Bitcoin because it was worth almost $1 million. So you quit your job if you hate your job. And now you have a problem. You can't add more Bitcoin. You can't sell Bitcoin. So you're really stuck in the middle of nowhere. Now we covered all ranges. I want to go to Paraguay. I really do. I'm hearing great things. Everyone always gets Paraguay and Uruguay confused. I always thought that Paraguay was dangerous and Uruguay was, sorry. Yeah. And Uruguay was like the cool spot. But now I'm like hearing completely the opposite. Yeah, if you're a ride-sharing driver and you're sitting on 0.8 Bitcoin, that's incredible. Try to get that to 1 Bitcoin. So keep driving. This is the time. Get that to 1 Bitcoin. And then once it goes to 100K, 200K, it's going to be amazing. Also hearing great things about Guyana. Need to go visit there. All right, guys, I think I'm done. I got to get to work on the agenda for the financial summit. Yeah, but Uruguay has a beach. Hey, Corky, I agree. This is why I keep trying to launch things I really like. Back to the financial summits, right? I wanted to get my, I wanted to be in a room with good traders and investors. So I did this event. And yeah, it's an expensive event because I want to enjoy a really free, nice vacation. If a bunch of people sign up, I get a free vacation out of it and everybody benefits. But I'm also organizing it. You guys have no idea how hard this shit is. If you've ever tried to organize like a family reunion for 20 people, this is worse. Yeah, the correlation is very frustrating. Super frustrating. You're at the mercy of the stock market for at least another year until a decoupling, because the halving is coming. All right, that's it. No politics talk today. Guys, check out Trading MRI. You can start your free trial. I didn't build this, but it's a great service. I'm going to start using it. My options are stick with the conferences, go back to trading, or focus on politics. Now, politics is not going to pay. I have a horrendous time trying to monetize my influence. I'm not an influencer. I'm an influencer, but I don't monetize my influence. So if I go into politics, how do I pay for that? Well, I pay for it with my own money, but I won't be able to concentrate on trading much. But if I go back to trading, now I'm making money, but now it will be harder to, spend half a day in spaces and YouTube channels and interviews and doing events. All right. On this note, I'm going to call it a day. Oh, oil prices, gold prices. Oil's still down. I'm still very bullish on oil. We had an amazing spaces on oil last night. That was awesome. The Tuesday night economic spaces are great. I'll tweet it out next time. That was my first one, Tuesday night, with traditional trading guys. They're great. Grogo writes, Tone, you should have seen what I've organized. The villa experiences in a week living in a huge villa with a private chef, 20 people, taking them to 5 different experiences every day. Yeah, I really like that stuff, but well, we can't do the experiences. And this is why I choose destinations that have villas. Again, this is the Bali destination. And you see, either you get a suite on the cliff's edge, or you get these villas with private pools. You can check out the website. If you go to Bali, and then in the description, it says room upgrade. So you can see what kind of room you get. So either you choose a suite or you choose a private villa. So here's what the suite looks like. And then there'll even be a picture showing you where the suite is. It's like right here on the cliff. Or you get a private villa with a private pool. Well, a semi-attached villa, but it's still pretty private. And like these villas, like this one or that one. Or you can upgrade. You can upgrade to this standalone villa. That's a 2-bedroom. You can upgrade to one of these penthouses, 2-bedroom on top. Like you get a full ocean view, private pool on the rooftop. So these are your options. You can also get a ground floor suite that has its own private pool, a small upgrade. And the penthouse is already taken. That's where we chill at night and play cards, smoke cigars. Right here, the residence. This is the presidential suite, and that's reserved already, and that's where we hang out. And that's the penthouse. So these are the upgrades, but these two rooms are included, right? So we pick you up at the airport, you get the room. Bali is a cheaper place. You get a massage, you can get a massage every day. All that's included. All that's included with the resort. Food, drinks, everything. So if you were to take a vacation on your own of this quality, it's going to cost you about the same price as the event, but it's the event for 5 days. How long could it take to hit 100K? I honestly don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I think it'll happen next year. Certainly happen around the halving. I'm expecting it. When are you in Florida next? I'm actually in Florida all the time. I'm just not public about it. But I'll be public about being in Florida. I'm in Florida a lot more often than people think. I'm just not out there attending stuff. But I will be attending Mining Disrupt. So you can find me there. All right, guys, on this note, I'm going to call it a day. The daily chart to me is the scariest of all right now because it's looking like it's ready to break down. And then we wait for another MRI buy. You see, there was a nice MRI buy over here. So if we break down, I'll wait for another MRI buy. All right, guys, thank you all for watching. And see you all on the next one. Don't forget to comment on this because I have a few extra rooms with 2 weeks to go. We are gonna not randomly select, but select a person, maybe even 2. But the second one will probably be from Instagram to fill one of our rooms based on the qualifications of that person and what they can add to our group of 50 people that are high net worth traders, investors, money managers, etc. Bye, guys. I will see you all on the next one. Now, you think I'd know how to turn this thing off better.